Welcome to Rick's Corner. I'm sitting here with a very old friend of mine, Jim Morris, who I've known many, many years. Trained with him back in '69 when I first moved here into Torrance. Remember those days?
Yeah, sure.
I was training at Bill Pearl's gym, and you were where at that time?
I was at Bill Pearl's up in Pasadena.
That's right.
The new one.
The new one.
You were at the old one.
Yeah. The old one was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I was never there.
Never?
Never, ever.
Oh my God. They had, well, it was old school equipment. And then I went out to Pasadena with you, and that was totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a health club.
That was a health club.
Pasadena Health Club.
Back then when we were training, I remember I used to eat with you at a smorgasbord. You remember that one in Torrance? All you could eat?
Yes. Yes, yes.
They had little custard squares.
Mm-hmm.
Your diet was different back then.
Very. Very, very. I ate pretty much what all the bodybuilders ate. You know, anything. I just went with what was out there, what everybody said to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I remember once you told me you took raw liver and put it in the blender and drank it.
That was after I was taking the desiccated liver pills.
Yeah.
And somebody, who was it? I think it was Bob Guida, said, no, you have to take more. You have to take. So yeah, I put it in the blender. You know how that came about? I was stuffing down so much protein because everybody said you have to take 2 grams of protein for every pound of body weight
exactly,
that you weigh and everything. So I was eating tuna fish, and I was sitting there trying to munch this tuna fish, and it wouldn't swallow. I just refused to swallow it. So I said, how am I going to get this stuff in? So I put it in a blender, and I put some desiccated liver in the blender, along with some diet soda, because I didn't want. Yeah, right. That's what everybody else said. But I had gotten to the point, because I was drinking so much milk in those days, that I could chug it without swallowing. Just turn it up into a quart of milk.
Yeah.
All the way down without even swallowing it. So I did the same thing with the blender of the tuna fish, and all up, and it went down. Stayed down.
I had gone down to Redondo Beach at that time, and I bought some dehydrated fish powder, which was basically dried fish powdered up and mixed with water. It was absolutely horrid. The worst thing I ever. I thought I was going to make gains on it, but it gave me diarrhea. This was like vomit. But back in those days, we'd try anything to grow. Anything that would go down and be a protein that we'd use. And then I was introduced to Rio Blair's protein. Did you ever try that?
No.
But did you know anything about it?
From what I heard about it, it made people fat, made them smooth.
Did it? It was like
that's what I heard. Now I never tried it.
Yeah, Larry Scott and Don Howard said they trained on it and they were ripped.
Yeah.
Okay. So who knows, right?
Yeah, I never tried it.
You were training 6 days a week back then?
Sometimes 7. Yeah.
How many days now?
6.
I do too. Somebody says, why do you have to go in so much? Well, you know what it is, Jim, and you'll probably agree with me. Sometimes I go 7 days a week, maybe one day just cardio. Because you get up in the morning, and I know I got to get out of the house. It feels good to do something productive, and going to the gym is like going to an office. You go and you do your thing, and it inspires me to do more stuff after. Then I have the energy to go back and work.
Okay. I go in, I do my workout, then I do a couple of clients, and I come home and lay out here.
But you go and lower it. Did you used to train at 5 in the morning?
5:30 now.
Still?
Mm-hmm. At one point I was training at 2 a.m. when Joe had World Gym over here in the marina.
That's when I was just getting home. Not really, no, I don't do that. That's pretty early to train. You have energy then?
Yeah, I had no problem with it. Yeah, the only reason I did is because I was getting ready for a shoot, and the people in the gym, because they would open the gym unofficially at 4.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get along with some people in the gym. So Joe gave me a key, and I went in at 2.
That's the one over here in Washington?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that gym?
I love that gym. It was a great gym. It had everything I needed.
Was that all his own equipment like he had before? Or was that more? It was more of the manufactured stuff? A guy named Ray just sent me pictures of Joe's first gym that was back somewhere in the Midwest. Oh man, I forgot the name of it, but he sent me a picture of all the old dumbbells and barbells that he had before he even moved out here. And it was really kind of fun to see it. But now this guy has a collection of those old dumbbells, and they had the bell handles. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Those to me like fit my hand so well that the dumbbell became part of my arm.
Yeah.
And now when I go down here to Gold's and I use those black rubber ones, I don't like them.
No. But, Joe, being a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
He knew what he wanted. He knew what felt good to him.
Exactly.
So that's what he built.
Yeah.
And he was a machinist.
Yeah.
So he had the know-how and the practical expertise to do it.
I have a question because this concerns. I get a lot of emails from guys 40 to 50 to 60 years old, and everything in your body changes as you get older. Your testosterone levels change. Everything changes. A lot of them, including myself, I don't get a really good pump like I used to. Do you?
I don't even care about it.
I know, and I don't either. But it still doesn't happen like it did. And I don't know if that's just aging, or if it's lack of carbs, or if it's lack of testosterone, or what. What do you think would attribute to that?
Huh.
Because you.
I know. Well, with myself.
Yeah.
If I pushed it that hard,
Yeah.
I think I probably would.
Yeah.
But I don't. I have no reason to work that hard anymore.
Yeah, but you stay in great shape.
But it's different shape. I weigh 174 now.
Yeah, but you look great.
Well, yeah, but it's all cut up.
That's the desired look.
Yes, right. So why would I worry about using tons of weight and
Yeah.
killing myself anymore?
I totally agree, and I don't use tons of weight, and I can't anymore. But I have gone a lot lighter. I mean, when I used to curl like 50s and 60s, now I do 20s.
Yeah.
And I focus on them.
Yeah.
And I get a okay pump. Sometimes I don't. There's nothing. A good pump makes you feel like you've done something. But when you walk away and nothing's happened, you feel like nothing's happening to you. Is that true or not?
Not with me. No.
It still happens.
Well, yeah.
As long as you're working the muscle to some degree and feeding it properly is really the main thing, right?
Yep.
Now, over the years, you've changed your diet.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that? Tell me what you did. Tell them what you did.
In 1985, well, Bill was a vegetarian.
Yes.
Yeah. In 1969, when I moved out here, he was a vegetarian. And in 1971, he started getting ready for the Mr. Universe contest, which he entered and won again the pro show. And I was amazed at how much he was able to gain without eating tons of meat and all the animal stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I was still afraid to
try it.
Yeah, to try it. But then is when I decided to stop competing. I said, okay, now's my chance. And so I just got out the animal products, for the most part, but I kept cheese and some fish in there.
Okay.
Not a lot, but once in a while, if I felt like having something, I would have it. And then in 1999, I had a problem. You know how when you hit your funny bone, and tingles. Well, the whole arm went numb and had that same sensation.
Okay.
And it's 24/7. It's never stopped. So I went to 5 specialists, nerve specialists. I had MRIs, I had CAT scans and everything. It turns out my spinal cord was being pinched because the vertebrae and everything was closing in, and they said it's congenital. And they wanted to open up and do all sorts of stuff in there, and I said no. I hung in there for a while, and finally it cleared up on its own. But it scared me.
Sure.
And so I said, let me see just how healthy I can get. So I stopped eating the cheese and the fish, and I eliminated all the processed foods. So now all I eat is beans, grains, vegetables, nuts, and fruit.
And you can retain muscularity on that.
Muscularity, yeah. Not a whole lot of size, but I don't need a whole lot of size.
How did Bill maintain size eating like that?
Just quantity.
Just more. More.
I only eat twice a day, maybe sometimes once.
Really?
And I eat what I feel like. My new philosophy is listen to my body. My body knows what it needs and when it needs it and how much.
Right.
Rather than trying to force the issue and put it on some schedule that I read somewhere. So some days, like today for instance, I haven't eaten anything yet.
Are you hungry?
No.
Amazing.
No.
You worked out?
Yeah, we worked out 5:30 this morning. shoulders and arms. I split my routine up. You still legs, 2 days a week, chest and back, shoulders.
Same old routine.
Same old
and it
routine.
works.
It still works.
I like it too. I don't think there's anything better than that. How many?
Yeah, but I don't have any particular schedule.
And how many sets of body part?
5. That's it.
All right. So if you're doing what, 3 exercises per body part or 2 or what?
2.
All right. So you're doing.
Well, 10 sets then.
All right. So you're doing 2 exercises, 5 sets each. So it's 10 sets total for the body part. That seems to work pretty well too. I remember years ago back in the 60s when I was doing arms, I did 3 exercises, 3 sets. That was it. And my arms grew, and then as I got older, of course, I'm doing 4 exercises, 5 sets. You know how you go crazy with that. And it worked when I was 30. I'm not going to do it now.
But now I'm not after size. Well, I'm not competing. And I'm not after size. Now it's just sculpting. I just shape things and keep the circulation going.
Right. A lot of guys over 60 that we knew years ago some don't train at all anymore. They just let it go.
Yeah.
They just don't care. It happens. I know it happens. I've tried to get some for interviews. They say, no, I don't want to talk. I'm not into bodybuilding anymore. But, it's not just bodybuilding. It's a lifestyle. It's something that we've been doing for so long. I wouldn't know how to survive without it. I feel good when I do it.
Well, it's a passion.
It is a passion.
Jim French, the photographer.
Sure.
He has a new book out, his diaries. And he said about me, my body is my life. It is. It's everything to me.
Sure it is. And it's the way it should be. Over the years, you worked for Carnation for 20-something years?
No, actually, only 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, I worked from 69 to 74.
But you had the car for 20 years. You bought the company car.
They sold me the car. It was a great car. Yeah, that car, you couldn't kill it.
I know.
Fleet car. They really make them good.
And you've been training people ever since? Well, you had your own gym for a while.
Well, I had the gym from 78 to 85.
Yeah.
And then I started my own personal training. I've been doing that ever since.
And how's that going?
It was going great for a while, but now it's died off. The economy has...
it's so...
now only the wealthy and the rich people can... a personal trainer is a luxury.
It's a big luxury. It's the same thing as wrestling training.
First thing to go when people have to cut back.
They have no money, they can't afford it. It's just got to go. Are you doing anything as far as photography, posing, or any of that kind of stuff? Because I saw something when we did this Gold's Gym. They did some sort of a documentary.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of attention now because of the shape I'm in at my age, being 77. And recently I got an email from People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA.
Yeah.
They're doing a series of athletes who are vegan.
Right.
And they asked me if I would do a poster for them. So I said, yeah. And of course, I want to thank you because Julie Maisel,
Sure. Sure.
She said that you recommended me.
I did.
For that. Yeah, and I really appreciate it. It was a wonderful experience. Matthew, did you interview with them too?
I did. Yeah.
Matthew.
They didn't use it. Well, they haven't used everybody yet.
Yeah.
They had a teaser they made. That was it.
Right. That was it. But Matthew, I was in good shape. This was a couple of months ago. And then I turned 77th on August 31st, which was 5-6 months ago. And he said he'd like to do a photo shoot of me posing. So I got into shape for that. And that was a great experience. I got into shape for it. But, yeah, I'm still doing stuff. National Geographic has their channel, and they want to do a series of seniors who have found the fountain of youth.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I think this backyard's the fountain of youth. It's gorgeous back here.
Well, when I first moved in 20 years ago, the only thing here were the trees.
Yeah.
That's it. None of the deck wasn't here. None of the plants and anything was here. And the reason I took it is because I had 3 dogs at the time. Recently, most of my activities have concerned animals. Right? I've become active about that. I had 3 dogs at the time, and when I saw it, I said, perfect. They can run and play and chase each other and everything. So that's why I moved in. It was just wide open. Then they all 3 died. I still have, you can't see her from here, Joe Gold had, yeah, when he died, he had 3.
Right. I remember.
Lee Priest took the 2 Australian sheepdogs, and the 3rd one, Hope over here, nobody wanted her. You know, she's a little mixture, and she had a broken leg and all. So I took her, and she's still here.
Oh, that's nice.
But the other 3 died, and one is buried right there in front of the rock. Another one is buried over there. And I made a little meditation chapel up here.
Oh, nice.
Where I buried the 3rd one. And then Hope, with her broken leg and all, she's not active. So then I started fixing the place up. And so this is it.
This is really nice. So what now? You're going to live a long life, so you got to have a plan for a future. You're training people, and you're going to be in more demand as you get older. I mean, even at my age now, I'm getting all kinds of things at my age because I've stayed in shape, and so many people haven't. And I'm doing motivational speeches and stuff like that, which I really enjoy, and passing on my knowledge as you pass on your knowledge to others and younger people coming up. What would you tell bodybuilders today getting into the sport to look out for? Because they all want to get huge, and they all want to go heavy, and I tell them, you're going to kill your joints.
To look out for, you know, I really, if I had to do it all over again, I would do everything totally differently. In that, well, in order to compete, in order to win nowadays, you have to get what the bodybuilders call freaky.
Yeah, I know.
You know, one day, this is years ago, when Joe had the place over on Washington there, Iron Man had a poster at one end of the gym, and I was at the other end of the gym when I looked down and saw it. And the only word I could read on that poster from about 40 feet away, no, it was longer, maybe 60 feet away, was monsters. That's the name of the game nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're not a monster, you won't win. So, tell you the truth, I don't know what I would say. They don't come to me, and that's the reason why. I don't know how they would avoid doing whatever it is they're doing in order to win.
Yeah, because they have to compete with the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the healthiest thing in the world. I mean, we were pretty healthy. We ate right, and we trained hard.
But we weren't training for health.
No, we weren't training. Well, bodybuilding's not healthy.
Right.
No. but the bodies looked healthier back in the day.
Yeah, right. Well, they weren't monsters.
They weren't monsters. They weren't bloated out.
You know, I read some of the stuff now, and everybody wants to be a freak.
Yeah.
Freaky. I want to get freaky.
Well, I'm sure you get it, and I get it too from guys in their middle life now. They say, God, I want to be like you when I'm your age. I want to stay in shape. I said, well, you better get to a gym. You better restructure your diet and do something, because what you're doing now isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Fast foods and no exercise at all, it just doesn't get it.
Yeah, well, those are the people that talk to me, not the
well, those are the people that really need it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really need it.
Yeah, they need the exercise.
So, in closing, where can we find you if they want to look you up for training, or your website, Facebook, where would we find you?
I'm not on Facebook, but my website is spelled GYM, as in gymnasium, Morris.com.
That's pretty clever.
Well, when I had the gym over in West Hollywood, the sign out front read, Jim Morris Gym. And about once a month or so, somebody would come in and say, you know, you really should call it Jim Morris. Which, you know, I would laugh like, oh, it's the cutest thing I ever heard. But it was a bit too cute for me, even in West Hollywood.
I like it.
Yeah, well, when I went to get a domain name for my site, there's another guy named Jim Morris, an old basketball player. Mm-hmm. He's not old, he's still around. Baseball player. And he had taken every variation of Jim Morris that there was.
There's nothing left.
There was nothing left. So I said, well, let's try it. And you know, it clicks with people. They
Sure
remember
it does. Sure it does. So Jim Morris, GYM.com.
No, Jim Morris, .com. You're
okay.
right.
But there's no Facebook?
No Facebook.
But they can reach you through your website, like I did.
Oh, yeah. Right,
that's
right.
awesome. And I think this is great. You're doing good. You look great. You haven't changed in all the years I've known you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Except you got a beard like mine now.
Yeah, but you're more sculpted.
I'm groomed.
I
groom myself.
Are.
Well, I just want to thank you, and I know the people out there really wanted to hear from you. They've been asking me, get Jim Morris, and so now I did. And maybe we can come up again with something else to talk about as well. But,
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to thank Anabolics Outlaws for sponsoring me, World Gym for sponsoring me, Gold's Gym for sponsoring me, and you can catch me on AfterBuzzTV.com on Sundays at 3:30 doing a review on Friday Night SmackDown. You go to my website, rickdrason.com, rickscorner.com, and look at all the things I have for sale. So in closing, thank you for watching. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate
Pleasure,
it.
and I'm enjoying myself out here.
Don't forget to buy your original Gold Gym t-shirt with my signature and the World Gym Gorilla with my signature at bodybuilding.com. Buy it now before they run out.
It's rickdrason.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.